The views expressed during this program does not necessarily represent those of really any sane person with a brain. Listening to this program may actually kill brainwaves and make you dumber than you may already be. Listener discretion is advised. Really, because this show sucks to begin with.
And here we are again. I am Powers.
I am Porterhouse.
Together we are Fantasy Fat Guys. How you guys doing today? Of course, you can check us out. Maybe you can tell a friend or two or whatever.
Or everybody you know.
Right. Both of you have been checking us out at one of the locations.
Is that our fan? I thought I saw him outside.
No, that's a flag. So you can get us anywhere. You can get us Google. You can get us on Spotify. You can get us on just about everywhere. And I promise iHeartRadio is coming soon. And we're going to be on Amazon soon because I got somebody taking care of all my screw-ups and stuff like that. Dude, what does it feel like to be a total moron? In your world.
Well, I mean, every day.
Right.
Much. It's the way I live life. I really don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how to describe it.
I'm like following the instructions on how to get onto certain things, and I still can't do it.
And you're the technical guy.
And I'm the technical guy, which is pretty sad.
I'm the idiot. And,
but anyway,
anyway, that's beside the point.
That's besides the point. So if you can, check out the show. Let a friend know. Check out our Facebook page, Fantasy Fat Guys. And, if you want to leave a comment, that'd be fantastic. Somebody besides Chad Michael.
Who's a friend.
A friend. So my mom won't even comment.
Yeah, no. My mom's against the show, but that's the way it is. It's because you're a little bit aggressive with your behavior.
Who, me?
Just you.
No, it's not. Listen.
Just you, not me.
I don't need this kind of aggravation, dude. Quite frankly, I should go back into modeling.
Well, it's been a while. You were a hand model.
No, well, actually, you know what?
Your domain, the whole thing.
Before I did that, when I was a child, I was actually a model. For like the baby ads and stuff like that. Yeah, I was the stunt penis. So
okay, sure you are.
Yeah, it was great. Well, the Gerber baby, he's supposed to be pure. You don't want to show his schmeckle, right? So you get some other dirtbag and show his schmeckle.
And there you go.
And now the Gerber baby's still pure, and then you got me.
You got you just being you.
Just being me. Sadly, it hasn't grown since.
And there we are. Another miracle.
Wow.
It's a Festivus miracle.
Oh, boy, you want to wrestle? Where's the pole?
It's your heritage, George. It's your heritage.
So, anyway, welcome once again. Another big week in fantasy football, which we'll get to in a second.
Absolutely.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the baseball action. Great game last night. Dodgers, walking off with the victory.
So sad that I fell asleep before the ninth inning. But...
yeah.
You know what? That's what a wild card game should be.
And
not the one that we saw the night prior.
The night prior.
Where the Yanks decided not to show.
Yeah. Well, why the heck are you sending? You still have some big guys coming up. Why are you sending Judge home on that play? Just screwed up the whole momentum of the game. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Yankees just sucked anyway.
I mean, Cole, the $1 trillion guy or whatever he is, doesn't get out of the third.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't really liked what Boone has done all season.
To be honest with you, all we did was just take care of the inevitable. Yeah. Because they weren't going to win. They're not
going to.
They're not beating the Rays. And
is it time to move on from the whole regime of Cashman and Boone?
100%.
I think so, too. I think Cashman is, I think he's done. I think Boone should be done.
You need fresh eyes.
Yeah, listen, the talent's there. The money's being spent. The pitching has been, somehow, some way pieced together with all this, which is just kind of annoying to watch.
But more than anything, when the Yankees were successful this season, that's when they were doing things like bunting and stealing and doing things. Vasquez was playing. He was stealing. You know what? I'm not a big Wade guy, but he was actually a spark plug for this team.
It's a little bit different when you're watching the team play like that, and rather than station to station. And I know that the big thing we're talking about is sending a guy home on a hit, and I get that with Judge coming up. But Stanton's, Stanton, Judge, with the lineup that they have, you feel like that they should be producing more runs than what they're doing anyway. And so it's not even just that one play. It was just a microcosm of the way the team played. Glaber had a horrible season. Moved to second, played a little bit better at the end. But, I mean, for the most part, he just seemed like he was overmatched. Urshela seemed to, give you everything he had to an extent. But he's still not the player he was a couple of years ago where he had the monster season.
Yeah, he's been playing hurt a lot this year, though,
He's been banged up. But it's enough with the Yanks. The Red Sox, listen... They won. They outplayed. They outplayed the Yanks. I hate the Red Sox more than I like the Yankees. 100%. That's how much I hate the Red Sox.
Oh, my gosh.
Their losing makes me happier than my winning. It's just the way it works. But Be that as it may, they earned it. I mean, it's a team that was somewhat rebuilding, piecing it together, and they found a way to do so with everything that they had, without Sale pitching in the big game.
Right.
They did it with Nathan Eovaldi.
Yeah, and no bullpen. Their bullpen's brutal.
I mean, Ottavino is one of those go-to guys on that squad.
And
what happens, though, Boone manages a bullpen awfully. You wish you had Girardi back with the way Boone manages a pen. And Cashman, for some strange reason, I think we just don't win enough.
Ironically, Philadelphia would like us to get Girardi back.
Exactly, but I would take him.
I would too.
I would take him in a heartbeat. But the game last night, the hottest team in baseball, St. Louis. Mm-hmm. The Dodgers won 106 games going in. Not good enough to win their division with 106 wins.
Which is just
tell you how great the
tremendous.
Giants were, which nobody expected this year.
Right.
Because everyone said Dodgers, Padres, Dodgers, Padres. Padres manager Tingler fired already because that team fell apart, much like the Mets with Rojas.
I think he got fired before Rojas.
No, right after Rojas went down first.
Oh, okay.
But only a day apart. But Rojas got fired immediately after one season. Tingler got fired after two. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is where we are.
Well, Rojas had two.
Rojas had two, too. I'm sorry. But nonetheless, I mean, both teams were in contention. They both fell apart. But, you watch what the Giants did. Oh, unbelievably impressive. I mean, but you don't expect Kevin Gausman to have a monster year.
Nope.
And Webb and Cueto and all these other guys. Brandon Belt bouncing back. Brendan Crawford hitting the crap out of the ball. I mean, that Giant team, and they went out and got Bryant, which was a great pickup for them. It's just that extra bat that they needed. The Cubs basically gave them away. Yeah. And, and Posey bounced back. And that all of a sudden,
they got a decent team.
Listen, that's the series people wanted to see, Giants Pods.
And the closer, what the heck was his name? McGee. Was it McGee?
Yeah, Jake McGee.
Jake McGee. He was my last round pick, and he was like my superstar.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great all season. Our fantasy league, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, and you nor I were really in it. I finished sixth, and you finished, I think, eighth or ninth. But I finished sixth. I only finished about 10 points out of first. That's how close it was.
Right.
But we had the best race we've ever had.
Yeah, it was like
we had 5 teams within 4.5 points.
What I think the final was 109, 108 and a half, and 108.
Yeah, exactly. And then 106 and a half was Alfie.
Yeah.
And then Mike was 105, and then I was 98, I think, 97. So maybe I was 12 points back. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter, but
nonetheless,
so close.
But yeah, I mean, and I was trying to get to 100. It was and we do the rotisserie style in baseball a little bit more than the head-to-head because. The head-to-head can be anything can happen. You go up against a pitcher that pitches twice that week, and your guy only goes once, your best guy. For us, it's like the longevity of the brutality of the season, and I enjoy it.
And we also have roster limits, move limits, because otherwise...
We make it very strict.
Yeah.
And we were a little loose this year because of COVID, but it was a ton of fun, actually.
Yeah.
Even not being in it, really, just trying to get myself to be in where people could see me.
One of the things that I found interesting for myself that I think even no matter how bad you are, you still have to try to win categories. Even though next year I might lose a good spot in the draft, you still have to compete because it was so close. If I'm this close to getting a stolen base that's going to knock somebody back a point, I owe it to the guys who are on front.
I was trying to play spoiler too. You and I were 2 of the 3 guys that used all of our moves.
Yeah,
and we were not in contention all year.
Yeah, but I used all my moves in August.
Yeah, my last move was done September 8th.
Every move.
And to be honest with you, September 8th, and I was playing 2 positions down at that point, and finally I was like, I gotta, make that last move. I was trying to hold on to it.
Right.
But there was nothing to hold on to because I was just decimated all season, as were you. Mm-hmm. And but just trying to be better. Even though I don't like the guys that tank. I'm not trying for the first pick next year. I'm trying to do everything I can to be as competitive as possible because I enjoy it. I know a lot of you guys that listen to football, and we're going to get to that in a minute. I promise you. It's like, baseball's too long. It's 5 minutes a day.
Right.
I want to find the guy that doesn't have 5 minutes a day.
I got nothing but time.
I mean, but even when we're swamped, and he makes that up as he works 2-3 jobs and never stops, and I'm working the same way. I mean, but we look forward to our 5 minutes because it's 12 guys that all know baseball, and we're really trying to compete against each other. And I think that's what makes the league kind of fun.
And even if you just take your phone on the shitter, I mean, you're telling me
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only place I get in the house where I'm left alone.
Right. Well,
and
the smell doesn't hurt.
What are you, all right? I'm like, listen. I needed 10 minutes by myself. Leave me the hell alone.
You know how you need like 8 hours a night to sleep? I only need like an hour to poop every day.
I need that time.
So,
but anyway, baseball was great. I'm looking for. I mean, I know Houston jumped out on Chicago already today, 3-0. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. I think Altuve got a big hit.
Right.
But I can't root for Houston because they cheat.
Right.
So I catch myself rooting for the White Sox and La Russa, which I never rooted for, but I'm rooting for him in that series.
And he's lost.
Tampa versus Boston. I'm forced to root for Tampa.
Yeah.
Forced. I can't root for Boston ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll root for Chicago to get out of the thing. Even though you've always been a Tampa guy, you've always been that guy that's like Tampa since they first came in.
Man, they know how to put together an organization. Say what you want. They've got
payroll of $30 million. And they find a way to do it.
97 wins this year, 98, whatever it was, and
best record in the American League.
It's really astonishing what they do. It's a shame that nobody supports them.
No, it's funny, and they should move to a city that would really appreciate them. I know I'm here in Montreal.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of interesting. Except F Canada. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, no, I mean Montreal. Lots of nice places to visit up there. Apparently.
Maple Leafs, huge. Nice.
It's big.
Hey, you know what? They like hockey, though. Remember, we were there before.
We were.
And now we're not. But then again, Jeff Lurie was an asshole, too.
No, he was bad. And, listen, I remember Tony Gwynn getting his 3,000th hit in front of, nobody up in Montreal. But I think that they realized that they screwed up, and they would love to get a team back.
Yeah, it's like our fantasy show.
Exactly. On the other side, the National League, Dodgers, Giants, everybody wants to see that. I can't root for the Dodgers. I have to root for the Giants. And then, the Brewers and the Braves, battle of the, the Braves moved to Atlanta. So, I'm going to root for the Brewers because they never do anything.
I love the Brewers.
And I'll root for the Brewers to win out of the National League and root for them to win the whole thing. But that's who I'm going to root for.
I'm in the same boat. I think it's going to be Houston and Milwaukee.
Yeah, listen, I'm hoping it's Chicago, Milwaukee, but we'll see what happens.
I would like that
this
too.
Way, it's a nice Midwestern thing that has no appeal to us whatsoever here in the Northeast.
Right, and then we can get back to watching bad football from our teams.
Listen,
we'll get to our teams in a second.
Absolutely.
Fantasy-wise, though, both of us 3-1, bitches.
Absolutely, and we both won relatively convincingly this week. I won by about 30. I think you won by more than that.
I won about 45 or so.
Yeah, I had a monster week, but Gino's still ahead of us, only undefeated guy.
I play Gino this week. You're going down, Dark Knight.
I played Shag this week, and even though I have a better record, he is favored by me over 20 points. I lost David Montgomery, and now my running game is really nothing.
Yeah, you're screwed.
So I have to figure that out. But that's the fun part of this whole thing.
Last week, jumped out to a big lead, which was nice, and then just kind of sat there and watched. You know what? We were both kind of like, you don't want Jalen Hurts. He's been spectacular.
He's performing for you. And he scored that late touchdown to really, not that puts you over the top.
Yeah, he's not getting, you're not sitting there saying, hey, big game, I want Jalen Hurts. Fantasy-wise, though, he's producing.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts against a good defensive team may be a struggle.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts against an average or below average defensive team is definitely a guy you want to play. For me, I roll out Mahomes. He doesn't even throw for 300 yards, but he throws 5 touchdown passes. And that was that. And Cooper Kupp did not have the big game that he normally does.
Yeah.
But David Montgomery, prior to injury, did. The Buffalo defense pushed a shutout.
Yep,
again. So, that's how I won mine.
Yeah.
I put up 160-something points last week. You put up almost 150.
133.
133.
Knox, I picked up the tight end just because I needed somebody.
You got your score.
Got me 2 scores, actually. Did he get
really?
2 scores?
He might have.
I believe he got 2 scores.
I think you did. I think you're 100% right.
So
they put up 40. It was the most unimpressive 40 I've ever seen a team put up. That's how bad Houston was.
Yeah.
They really didn't show up last week.
They don't got anybody. They don't got anybody.
The thing is, if Deshaun was playing, and we can't play, and we know why.
1,000% different.
Oh, but this team would probably wouldn't have given up on a couple of the guys they did earlier and handed guys out like Shaq Lawson and stuff like that they acquired in the offseason, and they'd probably be competitive because outside of this week, they've been in every game they've played.
Right.
They really it's just they're playing with a third-round rookie quarterback who going into last week was the best of the rookie quarterbacks playing.
Yeah.
Just percentage-wise, stat-wise, but at QBR and all that stuff. But, he fell back to earth last week on a rainy day in Buffalo.
Last week, though, if you want to look at the, who is the leaders and stuff, as far as, how do you want to do this? You want to go by fan points or?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, by fantasy points, Patrick Mahomes led the quarterbacks. Not surprised there.
He had a monster game.
Number 2, Daniel Jones, also Offensive Player of the Week.
Best game of his career by far. You've heard me say this all season now, and if you've ever listened to me just talk to friends, guy, I've never seen him put two halves together. Now listen.